What do we say at the beginning of every episode?
Bricks and books!
Bricks and books! Hello and welcome to Bricks and Bikes, the show where we talk about bricks and sometimes we ride bikes. Today's episode is part one of my 6-year-old's journey to find a mountain bike. We started off looking for a fat tire bike, but since then we've explored all sorts of different kinds of bikes. The first thing we did was I asked Soren to put together a list of his top priorities for things he wanted in a bike. He initially was really focused on a fat tire bike, but we also considered things like what type of brakes it has or what type of suspension. We first put these in a paper list, and then we transitioned to a Google Sheets spreadsheet. I won't go through the whole list, though I'll make the spreadsheet available to anybody who wants to see the details. But I do want to share a couple observations about what we've seen so far. There is a unsurprising correlation between the weight of bikes and the frame material. I was actually surprised. We only found one steel frame bike that looked even worth considering, which was the Diamondback El Oso Nino. Weighs 35 pounds, which is 10 pounds more than a lot of the other bikes we considered. And frankly, that weighs more than half of what Soren weighs, so that was just out of the question. We went to Trailhead Cycling in Champlin, Minnesota. Trailhead is a local bike shop, and we were met there by Pam, one of the store's owners. When did you guys start Trailhead?
In 2003.
Oh, wow. Was it in Champlin initially or somewhere else?
Correct. It was
Okay.
right here in Champlin.
Cool.
We were across the street from this location in the State Farm building for 5 years.
Okay,
But we wanted to move here because of the trail and the access to test rides.
that makes sense.
Yeah.
So you do just get to go out in the back here?
Yeah. We've got the best backyard. I'll unlock the door for us.
Ooh.
Can I look at?
Yep. And we'll go out the back door, okay?
The two bikes we were able to try in the store at Trailhead were the GT Stomper Prime, which is a 20-inch bike, kind of styled more like a BMX bike.
For us to have access to this trail was so crucial because it's part of our philosophy is to ride before you buy. How can you ride before you buy if you're playing Frogger in a parking lot? We really want everyone to have an opportunity to ride the bike.
I think Soren was reasonably happy with this. He rode it in the snow and was happy with it, but he really wasn't that excited about it. And I think for mountain biking, we are really going to want something that has at least front shocks. One of the things we've been debating is he wanted fat tire to go in deep snow,
Yep.
but I'm not sure how the weight is going to play out, especially with him being so little.
You know, Cannondale did a lot of research on bike weight to body weight ratios, and they really lightened up their bikes, and they actually quit making a kid's fat bike because of it.
The other bike we were able to try at Trailhead was the Cannondale Trail. This bike was really interesting because it was a 24-inch wheel, which I assumed would be too big, but the frame itself is actually a smaller than normal frame, and it fit surprisingly well for Soren. This made it a really good candidate for us to consider because he's obviously going to be growing. It's within our price range, and it still fit him at his current size. It also met his desire to have disc brakes, which is pretty cool. So we'll see if he's willing to compromise on the fat tire to get a bike that's fairly lightweight and meets a lot of his other criteria. If you have suggestions of other brands or styles of bike we should consider, feel free to leave a comment below.